Now it's time to test it with a real location. First, import the MaxST AR SDK. Enable this preprocessor constant. Next, download and install the BITMAX AR Scanner app on a LiDAR-capable device. Scan an area and upload it. Then download the scan from the developer site and copy it into the Streaming Assets folder in the Unity project. Replace an existing level in the asset bundle with this scan and build the collision walls you want the pathfinding to account for. Build and update the asset bundle on your local web server. Now create the content for the new level.
Many years ago, Catalan ships began sailing all the way to America to trade. One of the most commonly used ships was the frigate. It had 3 huge masts and was strong and fast.
Hace muchos años, los barcos catalanes comenzaron a navegar hasta América para comerciar. Uno de los barcos más utilizados era la fragata. Tenía 3 enormes mástiles y era fuerte y rápida.
Il y a de nombreuses années, des navires catalans ont commencé à naviguer jusqu'en Amérique pour faire du commerce. L'un des navires les plus couramment utilisés était la frégate. Elle avait 3 énormes mâts et elle était solide et rapide. It could sail even when the weather was very bad, with storms and strong winds. Although it carried goods,
Podía navegar incluso
elle pouvait naviguer même lorsque le temps était très mauvais. Crossing the whole Atlantic Ocean took about 20 days.
atravesar todo el
Traverser tout l'océan Atlantique a pris environ 20 jours.
Set up your license API key, make a build, and test it on location.
The opportunity to trade openly and directly with America energizes shipbuilding in Catalonia during the 18th century. Catalans typically used small ships for voyages to the colonies: frigates, brigs, and schooners. The frigate, a 3-masted vessel, sturdy and fast, is capable of sailing in the most adverse weather conditions. Although engaged in trade, these ships sail armed so they can defend themselves in the event of an attack or shift from commercial activity to privateering in times of war. The crossing of the Atlantic usually took around 20 days.
Only the roar of the sea, the sting of wind, and clothes soaked with salt. Yet medieval sailors, from Viking raiders in the north to Japanese, Arab, and Mediterranean traders,
Founded in Barcelona in 1755 on the initiative of a group of local merchants, this company opens the way for Catalan trade with America, despite considerable restrictions. It falls into decline following the granting of free trade with America in 1778, and is dissolved between 1784 and 1785. Throughout the early modern period, Catalan peasant families did not live off farming alone. Depending on the region, they supplemented their income with other activities. Some areas specialized in particular products, others in small trades or services. This held true along the coast, in the mountains, and inland alike, and women played a very active role in this diversified family economy. Having several sources of income was, in fact, common practice in rural Catalonia. In the countryside, festivals have a strong religious and communal character, although they are sometimes banned out of fear of disorder. In each village, the main festival stands out, consisting of a religious service, a communal meal, and dances, some of medieval origin, such as the Bal de la Moraxa, the flask dance. Religious festivals include processions, dances, and games. The Rosar de Meg, Festival of the Rosary, in Esplugues is one such example, reflecting deep devotion among the peasantry. When King Ferdinand VII dies, the struggle over his succession pits supporters of his brother, Carlos Maria Isidro, the Carlists, who favor a return to absolutism, against supporters of Isabella II, the Isabelinos, who fight to consolidate the liberal revolution. 3 Carlist wars during the 19th century reveal this deep ideological rift. 1833 to 1840, 1846 to 1849, and 1872 to 1875. Working conditions for the laboring population throughout the 19th century are extremely harsh. Working days are very long, 12 or 13 hours, and wages barely guarantee subsistence. Factories are marked by a lack of hygiene, very high temperatures, noise, pollution, and workplace accidents. Children begin working from a young age. Women, who make up the majority of the textile workforce, receive lower wages than men. Employment is unstable, and economic downturns lead to periods of unemployment. Injured or sick workers have no protection whatsoever. Employers and authorities enforce strict labor discipline. The workforce, very large in number, is made up of 55% men, 25% children, and 20% women. Women's work is more flexible than men's. Children work stretching fabrics across tables and stirring paint in buckets, and their wages help pay the rent for a modest apartment. During the 18th century, vine cultivation undergoes spectacular expansion in Catalonia. Marginal lands are brought into use by terracing entire mountainsides, with tools that, for the most part, remain rooted in Roman and medieval tradition. Large beam presses continue to be used. The rope press, which uses a thick esparto rope and applies pressure through 2 large screws, is also used for pressing grapes. Despite its large size, it is relatively light compared to the great beam presses, which makes it possible, when needed, to move it closer to the harvest sites.